Welcome to the Spring Summer 25 Serengeti sales meeting. We have a ton of really great stuff to share with you today, from new sun styles, new ophthalmic styles, as well as some great marketing and PR and an entire new set of content you're going to be able to use to help promote Serengeti. So before we get into that, though, my name is Joe Freitag. I oversee Serengeti, and I'd like to give you a peek into what we've been doing here to kind of craft the go-forward vision of the brand. And the way that we think of this is we're kind of crafting a North Star so that everybody involved in the brand knows exactly where we're headed. You know how we're going to communicate and what we stand for. When we went down this process, we found a quote that we thought really embodied the spirit of Serengeti, because that's where it all starts. Serengeti is more than a lens. It's more than a frame. It's more than a name. It is a feeling. And that feeling is kind of the free spirit kind of ethos that lives inside each one of us. So I have this quote here from Henry David Thoreau. I'll read it quickly. "I went to the woods because I wanted to live deep and suck all of the marrow out of life, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms." And when you think about that, I mean, it's really about being free and experiencing the most out of life that you can. And we thought, okay, this is what Serengeti is about. So we started here, and then we started to build what we call our archetype. And basically, this is the singular, profile type of person that we think embodies Serengeti at its most pure. And we're calling that person the modern creative hero. There are a lot of ways to describe this person. And we put together some of the text here. And I'll read this as well, because I think it's important to get it out there. But really, they embody that quote from Henry David Thoreau. And you're going to see how as they start to unfold through the next couple of slides. So we consider them artists, craftsmen, builders, poets, aficionados, anti-heroes turned reluctant heroes. Their inner fire burns too intensely to be contained, and they create because they need to release what is inside of them or they will perish. So it sounds big, but at its essence, it's something that lives inside each of us. It's that desire to make a mark, that desire to be significant, and that desire to live free. So you heard the words. Now to take a look at who this could be. We went and sought out, just for inspiration, some images of some icons out there that might embody this spirit. So you might know some of these people, you might not. Paul Newman, there's Jack Nicholson, there's a group of people here that not only embody this spirit, but also exude the style and taste and overall kind of spirit of expression that aligns really, really well and embodies the spirit of Serengeti. Another grouping here, you'd see like an Ethan Hawke, an Idris Elba, a Anthony Bourdain. These are all people that do exactly as I just described, and we consider to be people that could be at the heartbeat, at the center of a brand like Serengeti. And we think about this archetype, it's not just a male archetype. The Serengeti woman is exactly the same person. She has exactly the same attitude. She lives life to the fullest. She lives life on her own terms. She is free. Nothing is holding her back. No one is dictating what she is going to do. And she is living life experience forward. And you see that represented in this slide, where you're seeing kind of the attitude, the vibe, the style, the spirit of some of those women as well. So we thought it was important in the beginning to paint this picture, because it really, just there, you can kind of see how Serengeti fits into their life. But in real life, many of us live more practical lives. We're not out there living adventure every day. So when we talk about our actual consumer profile, the people inspired by this archetype, we're calling them the aspiring creative hero. So these are, accomplished professionals that are also brand aficionados. They value experiences. They value adventure. They want to get the most out of life. And, we call them natives, not tourists. These are people where authenticity absolutely reigns supreme and is critical to how they live their life. They're inspired by that authenticity. They're inspired by craft. They're inspired by, things that have that untangible soul, whether it be a memento from a trip that almost is like a living, souvenir, or a garment, or that thing. Everything they do, everything they have, represents who they are as a person and tells a story. And as we think of this, person, and we think about how does Serengeti fit into their lives, we think about their Serengeti moment. And really their Serengeti moment it's the last moment of getting ready for the day. It's the crowning jewel of their wardrobe. It's like putting on that last, piece before you go out and take on the world. And that's really Serengeti. They can't experience life to its fullest without putting on a piece of Serengeti eyewear. And a few more things about this person, because we really do like to drill down, is, what do they wear? Like from a style standpoint, how does Serengeti fit into their life? And I think it's important to know that this person, you can't pin down this person. They will wear anything. They may wear, a really expensive loop-wheeled t-shirt and vintage selvage denim jeans that they scoured through, from a thrift store, to their dad's, old Red Wing boots, to a leather belt made by a local artisan, to a really nice minimalistic watch. They might, so everything that they're kind of wearing are almost collections from their adventures and express who they are as a person. So very difficult to pin down, but very, very discerning and very stylized. We also want to talk about what they drive. As we talk through Serengeti, you're going to hear us talking about driving again. And we talk about what they drive. That's important because Serengeti, at its essence, started as a eyewear for driving. We set out to make the best driving lens in the world. So what they drive is important too. I know you car aficionados out there can argue for days on what car is better than what. It's important to really define this person's car. And it's really a car that tells a story. It's a 70s Chevy pickup. It's an old vintage Porsche. It's a Triumph that they found in a garage and restored. It's an Indian that, they bought because they've always wanted it their whole lives. But it's almost never the normal thing, right? So it's another extension of who they are and how they tell the story of their life. And ultimately, where do they shop? Where can they find the brands that they love? And this is just like what they wear. It's hard to pin this down. They often want to go straight to the source. If they're not going straight to the source, they want to go to where the experts are. So for Serengeti, that's opticians. It's sun specialty. It's all premium sunwear. It's anywhere where they can engage with somebody and get the story of the product, the quality of the product before they buy, so that they can decide how it weaves into their life and becomes one of the mementos of their life's journey. With that, now we have our customer in mind, who we're going after. How are we going to talk to them? How are we going to, present Serengeti? So behind the scenes, we've been kind of crafting this idea of who we are. And you'll see here that we're starting to use words like, we are free. It's about the spirit of freedom. We are classical. We are crafted. We are soulful, which is almost another word for authentic. We're real. We're contemporary. So where we might be classical, we're not old-fashioned. We're still contemporary. We still appreciate new things, clean designs, contemporary items, contemporary living. We're tough. We're bold. We're confident. We are very much a brand that has a story to tell and is confident in the story and in kind of the person, I guess, we are as a brand. So I think it's really critical to understand these pieces as you start to see what unfolds from Serengeti in the coming slides. A few other things I want to make sure that we cover. We got to think of Serengeti as an all-season brand. We make sunglasses, but the sun doesn't just shine in summer. So you're going to see from us as we push this brand forward, we're going to be presenting Serengeti as an year-round brand. And then if you were to layer ophthalmic on top of that, it extends the brand, multi-seasonality even more. So that's a really critical piece to understand as we move forward. Something else that is also really critical that you're going to see us bring back into the fold, into the fabric, into the roots of the brand is the brand's heritage, specifically in two places. Our heritage in eyewear, we are a pioneer, and our heritage in driving. When I say our heritage in driving, I'm not talking about saying, hey, we're a driving brand and everything is about driving all the time. But what driving stands for, the freedom of the open road, highly crafted, designed, items kind of with a soul, and then ultimately performance. That's such a critical piece of our heritage that validates everything we do as Serengeti. It validates our lens, it validates our craftsmanship, and it's meaningful to our aspiring creative hero. So here I have a statement about our heritage. We'll make sure to share this with everybody, and I don't necessarily need to read this out loud, but I think it's really important to know that we will be talking about our heritage in driving, about our heritage in optics, and about our heritage in who we've connected to over the years. Serengeti was once the favorite brand of kind of the Hollywood creative set, and we're making inroads back into that space. That's really important because not only do we make great product, you can make the best product in the world and not get people's attention. We build real meaningful authenticity, soul, and passion into everything we do, and want to connect with those people that appreciate that. And they do appreciate that. So another big piece you're going to see us talking about moving forward is a new tagline that we're embracing. And it's driven by experience. 3 very simple words that do some pretty complex storytelling. Driven. It's a connection to our driving heritage. It's also our drive to innovate. Our lens sets us apart from all of our competition. And we're going to continue to make sure that we hold our lens in the most premium position and look for innovation wherever we can. Experience. It's about experiencing the world. It's about, sucking the marrow out of life, like Henry David Thoreau said. But it's also about experiencing our lens, how our lens changes how you experience the world. Anybody who's tried on a pair of Serengeti absolutely knows this. So as an extension of driven by experience, we're going to start using that to tell our lens story. And we're really trying to simplify our 3-in-1 lens story. Nobody else has this lens. And we've boiled it down to a really simple statement that our mission was to make the best lens in the world for driving, and we ended up making the best lens for life. The idea there is if you're making a lens that handles the demands of, providing crystal clear, super technical optics when you're driving, it's great for everything else. It's great for just experiencing the adventure that we call life. And obviously, we're going to drive home 3-in-1, 3-in-1, 3-in-1 at every point. And we're going to try to simplify the best we can so that people connect and understand. We're polarized, cutting glare to ease eye fatigue and see clear. We're photochromic to adapt to light, different light conditions for a better overall visual experience. And we have color and contrast control that enhance detail and visual acuity, all in one lens. Really, 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 really critical. And it's really our lens story, that we all know, we all love, but plays an important role in our future positioning as Serengeti. And I have this positioning slide here to just give a picture of where we see Serengeti. We see it rightfully at the top of our competitors. And in this open space where very few brands are playing. A lot of brands that play against Serengeti may have Italian acetate, maybe made in Italy, may have really great designs. They do not have our lens technology. If they do have our lens technology, they don't have anything close to all of our lens technology. They have pieces of it. Might be photochromic, might be polarized. But we are the one that own this 3-in-1 space. So we can command a higher position. We can push the brand up. We have permission to do this. I know it's going to take some time, but this is our mission. And I know we all believe that's Serengeti's rightful place in the market. So that's my intro for everybody here to frame up everything you're about to see. I love talking about Serengeti and where we're going to take Serengeti. So anytime you want to talk about it, please contact me directly. If you have any questions about anything I just showed, please come talk to me. I love talking about it. And And almost as much as I love talking about that, I love talking about product and where the brand is headed. And I will be handing that over to Diego in a moment, where he and I will have a conversation about all of the new things coming out. And then we'll have a chat with Andrea Bacos, our marketing coordinator, who's been doing some incredible work on the PR and outreach side to close the show. So with that, thank you and enjoy the rest of the presentation. So Diego, I'll toot your horn a little bit so you don't have to, but you come to us with years at Maui Gym, and prior to that, years at Essilor Luxottica, have a deep understanding of the sunglass and eyewear market in general. Correct. Really are a specialist, or I shouldn't say a specialist, but you know a lot about Sun RX.
Yes. I mean, basically from 20 years in eyewear, I think Sun and Sun RX, Sun lenses has been most of my life. So it was a good fit with Serengeti. So I'm happy to be here.
Oh, we're really excited to have you on board. So I know you put together a little bit of market research. You wanted to kind of frame up the opportunity you see for Serengeti out there in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the eyewear for a while, as I said, so I always like to bring some data. I love how healthy and a lot of potential our market shows to consumers and to us. They're all there. So I'm going to bring a little bit of market data from Technavio, which is a very respected entity in the space, just to show the opportunity. I won't go too much in the data, but I love this chart because in this chart we see a big spike. The forecast is from 22 to 27, the market is expected to grow 7.9%, which means $76 billion. So it's a huge, significant growth forecasted. And this encompasses eyeglasses, sunglasses, and contact lenses. So I imagine some distributors might have contact lenses as well, so they'll be happy with that. The main thing is the opportunity, the size of the opportunity you see in this slide. I talked about the 7% growth year over year, and the 76% is almost like doubling the market, right? So I think we should all engage in this momentum and bring the growth for Serengeti as well, so we gain some market share. Just out of curiosity, some of the drivers of this growth, definitely aging population. We know when we reach 40, your eyes don't work the same way they used to. We all experience that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Aging population, so vision related, and change of lifestyle. We're all on our screens all the time, so the visual needs are changing. So everybody's aware of this epidemic of myopia in the world. The challenges we have, there's a lot of counterfeit happening. It's hard to control. And also the omni-channel consumer, right? He's on the web, he's on the phone, so he kind of buys on every single channel. So that brings a challenge of cost of acquisition of that consumer. Good news for the European is that the regional growth, it's coming 31% from Europe. So that's a good point for the European market that we see as a potential growth coming from that region.
So you're telling me that there's incredible opportunity.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Right.
I think it's obvious, 76 billion, right? We want to get a little bit of that share. So
and when we think of Serengeti, we're more mature in some markets than others, but generally speaking, I mean, the opportunity applies to every product category we make, just focused on eyewear. But to me, it's really in sun and sun prescription. Correct. Are the big movers.
It's a big potential, especially sun prescription. I feel like we haven't scratched the surface. We have a lot of work to do together on that space, but it's educating, bringing consumers in, educating the optical to make part of the sales pitch. So we definitely have a lot of room to grow there.
Great. And then before we get into the product, we've been working a lot behind the scenes on kind of the new imagery, the new look and feel, an updated look and feel, and all of the new campaign imagery that we have going on. Do you want to tee that up a little bit?
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So yeah, one of the missions we had as a team was having a new way to portray the brand to consumers and accounts. So we've been working on a new campaign the last months together as a team with European insights for us, taking care of the global aspect of the brand. And we're going to start showing now how all the strategy Joe talked about relates to reality, how it comes to real life in images and key visuals and videos. So I'm going to start with a video of the campaign. Everybody loves the video, and this video will be available for all of you through your local agent.
So that video was incredible. I mean, just knowing and being a part of that first photo shoot, it was really exciting to get the first one in the can. And I think, it's one thing for me to say, hey, here's all the stuff we're going to do. But then to your point, you see it come to life. The emotions become real.
Yeah.
And I think, everyone viewing this is starting to see, the seeds that we planted, what they're growing into right now. So that's really, really exciting. So how does that turn into now the key visuals and the campaign and how we're going to support the brand and the new product moving forward?
Apart from the videos, we're bringing the DNA of the brand. As you said, we have a lot of legacy on the driving space, and consumers, the first need for consumers is driving. So the first time you put your sunglasses is always driving. We're bringing the outdoor enthusiast. We're bringing the outdoor aspect. We're bringing the California connection, which is important for us, and leverage the DNA that exists with the brand already. So we have the best lens for driving, but we also have a strong point for Serengeti as a brand. It is the lens for driving that will drive more consumers to it.
Great. So let's take a look. The next couple of slides we're going to show is just a hint at the two shoots we have completed so far. So the one we're looking at right now, that was the first shoot we did several weeks ago. It's really focused around some global bestsellers and regional bestsellers, and is really was shot to be more of an overall brand anchoring, type of content. All of this stuff will be available as key visuals to use. Some of it started to make its way into social media already. And then this next slide is a look at kind of a look forwards, whereas the first, yeah, right. So this is going to be more of the new stuff. A bit stronger connection to driving. The way I see it is we had the two shoots are really complementary. The first one was a bit more rugged and raw. The second one a bit more refined and polished. And we're going to be using this model of kind of toggling between those things as we continue to shoot. So that's really exciting to me.
Yeah, it is. It's we have a lot coming down the funnel on products, and the second one brings more the new products. Also have some best sellers. As you said, it's more polished, more refined. We want to bring the lifestyle consumer, lifestyle images, and knowing that we have a wide offer of lens colors. So we're going to portray that into light conditions, because we all need sunglasses, even if it's overcast, the UV damage is there, the UV rays are there. So we would try to represent the brand as much as we can with this collection to have different kind of lenses and products and different kind of message to different kind of consumers. And we all know the world has changed a lot. So we need to be almost like a content machine, bringing new products, bringing new content, new images to feed people down the funnel to purchase our product.
That's great. So let's take a look at some of these key visuals from what we've discussed and what's in the works. We're really keeping the branding really clean. We're using high impact visuals for more, for that top of the funnel initial engagement. So we create that strong emotional connection. And then as we kind of create more assets, we'll be connecting these visuals to our products and to our lenses.
Yes. You see there's we keep it as clean as possible, but we have a very prominent brand. So you always see Serengeti very present in there because of the awareness side, so we can bring consumers to the brand.
Right. It feels almost evergreen.
Yes,
like, which is great.
Could use, yeah. But we'll keep, as I said, we keep on feeding more content, more products. We have a lot on the pipe coming, a lot of development, a lot of exciting development coming, which I know is going to do well, and we definitely will reach new consumers and gain market share.
So let's walk through some of these key visuals. I see some from the first shoot.
Correct. The first shoot, we had more focus on bestsellers. And then on the second one, we see more like a polished one with the new styles coming. We brought the vintage. We have a vintage Porsche for the driving aficionado.
Is that yours?
I wish it was mine. It's not mine. But we definitely had that part of the driving. We connect to the new consumers. And then like it was a lot of work from the team, from the creative team, amazing that we have working with us to kind of deliver the best that we can for the brand and for the sales team.
That's great. And so we're just getting a taste of the key visuals now. We're getting a taste of where they can be presented. But all of these will be ready upon launch, ready to deliver and support the new Serengeti.
Go with your agent, with the local agent. We're ready to support. You have just a hint here. It's just like, horizontal, vertical, but like we're ready to help you customize. I know we all been in the optical space. The landscape's so different from Europe to North America. So we're ready to support, like, if you need more space, if you need less space, if you need the customized design, we'll make it for you.
That's great. Well, I think before we get into the product, we should also state, I know we have at least 2 more photo shoots coming up. So as you mentioned, Content Machine. This is not going to be the only set of visuals. We're going to be constantly gathering market info about what products need supporting, what type of content we need, and we're going to be building at least 1 more set of key visuals that should deliver several weeks after these.
Correct. So we have at least 3 more content shooting capturing to the end of the year. We're going to focus on some ophthalmic ones. Now we're doing ophthalmic with sun, but we plan to do one specific for ophthalmic that we can talk about the frame, go more into the craftsmanship and the details, and at least 2 more sun. And then we're going to see what's performing, and your feedback is always more than welcome to us. Like, this is a good one, this is not performing really well, what kind of product you want in the picture. So we encompass that, plus all that we do on the product side. Considering bestseller, price positioning, how we represent the brand, the best colors on the products as well.
Great to hear. So let's get into some more exciting stuff. Like I love the imagery. I know everyone, when these drop on everybody's computer, like we're all huddled around frothing over this stuff to get it to use it. But I'd love to dig into the product.
Yes, me too. Products is how we,
that is it.
The tangible part, right? Yeah. Is how we portray the brand in the best way. We have some amazing commercial styles coming. There's even more coming on the next wave of development. This development that we're going to show here was done in partnership with the European team. So we had a lot of back and forth working together to have the best products to sell. When it comes to product, internally we talk about 4 categories, which is sun prescription, ophthalmic, and clip-ons. So I'm going to try to cover all of them with you here. And when we talk about sun, Serengeti is famous for our lenses, right? So we're going to start with the lens, just reinforcing the offer for everybody here. We have this wide offer of colors, mostly on mineral. We want to push mineral, of course, because it's the best optical performance. But this variety of colors, they all have the 3-in-1 technology across the board. And I think the most important thing is we have lenses suitable for every single occasion. So based on lifestyle, based on weather forecast, based on weather conditions, you can wear a typical side of lens and stop with this. I wear, not because I'm in the industry, but I wear sunglasses the whole year. It's not only summer, right? So we have to, and it's our job to help consumers bring awareness, education, to have products for all weather conditions. So you can see on this slide how wide our offer is. There's a lot of offer. You can play with the lenses and the account decide with you. And again, 3-in-1 is our DNA. That's like our differentiator. That's like my passion. When you see a consumer wearing a Serengeti, you get the wow effect. So for the 3-in-1 specifically, we did an amazing video dedicated on explaining the 3-in-1 technology. that can be used on social, for consumers, for accounts. I'm really excited to show this video to everybody. It's going to be the first time we show. So let's show the video for them.
Hot off the presses. Let's see it. I mean, I love the video. I mean, it tells the story. And then I think one thing I want to mention too is we're going to have static assets of this video as well. So we're going to be having, you know, images in our catalogs, printed material, you know, website that all tie back to this story. So it doesn't live just in the video, but this is the first piece. It's kind of the hero piece of the lens story. I think with the lenses, it's also important to note for SS25 that we really are focusing on the mineral, really are focusing on polarized. We really, we're only going to be doing non-polarized in more rare occasions. Because, you know, part of the 3-in-1 is polarized. Mineral is the best lens we can get.
Optical performance.
And on non-mineral, on a synthetic lens, we're going to be focusing on Trivex.
Correct.
And no longer focusing on a polycarbonate lens. So everything coming out will have a mineral lens, unless it's necessary that it have a synthetic lens, like the rimless and semi-rimless stuff. Which I might have just given a hint to what they're about to see.
We're going to show that. But I think, like, as Serengeti, we want to offer the best. So what is the best we can offer in terms of optical performance? It's mineral.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of companies that can offer as much colors in mineral as we can. So that's a differentiator. Plus the coatings, all the things you saw in the video, the coatings in the backside UV, AR, you know, the coatings on the lens to avoid scratching. You know, there's a lot of things in the lens. So we want to offer always the best. And I think from the sales guys too, right? They want to offer the best. You start with the best. Maybe there's like, treat Trivex as an option, right? You start with the best as much as we can premium, and then we use Trivex as an option for budget or for accommodation of a higher prescription.
Right, and that's on the RX side, for sure.
Yes, we'll cover
on
that.
the Plano side, you know, our cornerstone is really mineral and really only dipping into Trivex if it's necessary, like a drill mount lens.
Exactly.
Great. Well, let's get into the good stuff. We have our Sun Collection slide here. Beautiful image from one of our last photo shoots. Super striking. Let's get into the new stuff.
So we have a lot to cover, as I said. I think we have more than 10 styles coming. Different price points, different materials, different colors. So there's a lot to talk about, and we'll roll out that to the market. We're going to start with the Carson, which is a very interesting style for Serengeti. It's kind of like a new venture for us. It's a wrap style, 8 bays. It can be used for activities like fishing. It can be used for running. It's a light material with mineral lenses.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this. This is probably our most commercial frame. TR90 8 base wrap, rubber temple tips, rubber nose pads, mineral lens.
A lot of coverage, right? Some consumers
Tons of
want
coverage.
better coverage with minerals. Sometimes you have the whole coverage. And we do have a picture of we took in the last shooting, just so you can see and understand how it looks in the face of and how it fits.
It fits incredible. It does fit larger heads really well.
Yes.
I can say when we developed this, we wanted to come out something that fit a little larger at first, but we do have a medium size in the works for mid-year.
You're spoiling my surprises.
I know, I had to, because the first question will be, when's the next size coming? But this is how much we believe in this style. Great. Do you want to talk about the colorways?
Well, the colorways, we try to be as much classic as possible with this product because you know the audience with large face consumers, all of that. So we try to bring that in 4 colorways, very classic colors. We have the Tort. All the frames are available in RX, all the colors, which is good for the accounts to push. So we try to go classic, but again, you have different light transmissions. You can offer different based on the weather condition and the activity the consumer will do it.
That's great. I cannot wait to wear these.
Called Bianca Nova.
Bianca Nova. Yeah. She's back.
She's back. She's back. We got the Bianca. That was a successful product. Then we made some improvements. We did a big shift, a big change on the tempos to bring more contemporary aspect to it. It's a base 6. Definitely female driven. You have a great picture of the model from the last shooting. The product looks amazing. Very classic. We start to play a little bit on that fashion space. Not that we want to be a fashion brand, but if there's a consumer that wants the best quality lens, he can also have like a fashion frame that plays on that space.
Yeah. And this kind of hits that sweet spot between active and fashion.
Exactly.
TR90 frame. So like the Carson. So super lightweight. Spring hinges for great fit, but still with the mineral lens. I think anyone who once loved the Bianca, I mean, this is the answer. And then
the next generation, right?
Yeah, and anybody who didn't know about the original Bianca, I mean, this is just an incredible frame. You can see on her, it just looks amazing.
It looks amazing. Yeah.
Let's talk through the colors.
Colorways too. Knowing that's more like a female-driven product. We have 2 Torts for the female demographics. And 1 classic, which is the black with the 555 lens, which is one of our best sellers together with the drivers. And again, really excited with this product. I think will be a very successful commercially one.
Yeah, I think so too. So Bianca, really excited to see this coming out.
Yes.
The next several products are highly commercial. Definitely what, I'll use your term, are combat products. And the viewer will see why shortly. We are still offering, in order to be competitive at the entry level of the market, we do offer a couple of things still in the Saturn Poly lens. Generally speaking, moving forward, we won't be developing new Saturn, but we do have a few here that are highly commercial and should be able to get us in the door at key retailers. Do you want to introduce those?
The first one is the Winslow 2.0. A very sport frame. You can see there's like a very unique lens shape there. Base 8, bio-nylon frame. We have RX in all the colors. RX on rimless sometimes can be challenging for accounts, but like we have in all colors because we see the potential. So be confident to show to your account and make them feel confident to offer to consumers in a good price point on this one.
Great. And I'm really excited to see the Winslow 2.0 and then the following couple of styles. They are upgrades from their original. So the temples are more substantial. Like you said, the overall fit is really great. I think, we're going to see some really great success with these combat products.
Yes, I believe in those are the volume-driven products that we should use like this. The next one is the James. You'll see the major difference in this one is the lens shape. Again, gathering feedback from some consumers and accounts, they like more the teardrops and like more rectangles. So we try to encompass everything to have a wide offer of products. Base 8, frame is in nylon, super light, getting that sport consumer.
Great. So those were I'm calling them our semi-rimless because they carry it through the top. And we're going to jump into the colorways of
Yes.
the James. Let's take a look.
4 colors available: gray 555, the smoke or the gray 555, the drivers, of course, because our best seller, and we got the blue mirror as well because we know there's a lot of male driven male consumers that use that frame and they like the blue mirror on top of it.
Right. Great.
Now we go to the Lupton 2.0, another 2.0. That's a Trivex lens, so the price point is a little bit higher than the previous ones. But again, a way to bring more people into the brand.
Right.
So use that as a entry level, use that as bringing new consumers, bring the wow effect. All the 3-in-1 technology is in the lens as well. You don't have the optical performance of the mineral, but there's always lens material ways to sell, so you can talk about the resistance of the material. There's a lot of ways to do the sales pitch for this product. Colorways, we have 6 colorways in this product because, again, we believe it's a volume-driven product. Not all of them are available on RX, 5 of them, so we try to cover the most of it. Slightly different on the temple color, on the lens color, on the lens treatment. We have drivers and drivers gold. So again, a wide offer for you to have to your customers.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look at its slightly smaller little brother.
Yeah, it's called the Rick. Different lens shape, difference on shaping, on the fitting. Base 8, sport driven as well. So we have, we believe with this offer, we have 4 new ones fitting that category on the entry level and sport. So there's a lot of space and we could gather that market share. Colorways, we try to go classic as well with this. All of them available in RX for Trivex lenses. Trivex lens, we can offer a wider range on prescription. So again, be confident on this. Now we have some exciting ones coming.
Yeah,
too.
well, I'm excited about the previous 4 because I know they will be door openers, but these next several,
I
really
think they represent a little bit how premium we want to be and how we want to offer the best to accounts and consumers.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, so the next one we have, you see on the slide now, is the Ryan. It's kind of like the Club Master style that we feel as a brand we should have that. It's an evolution as well of the product we have in line called the Chadwick. Again, more premium, more thick on the temples. We're really concerned about the fitting of the product, so we heard the feedback. We brought that into development. Base 6, it's a mix of metal and acetate material. Really hopeful for this product as well.
I think the shape too is really wearable.
Yes.
You know, for men or women on this, I think that's really what I see is the biggest difference between this and the Chadwick. The Ryan, I know, is going to start becoming a fan favorite.
As you said, very unisex. It fits most of the head shapes and sizes. So we're very hopeful for this product. Let's go in the colorways. Again, we went classic and we went on the blue one, blue 555. So there's a little bit more light transmission there. But we know it's a good for females, this one. So we believe there's a good potential there.
Absolutely. And if I can say, you know, I don't know, it's a little bit hard to see on the screen, but the shiny crystal dark green is like just everything. That is a really
we were able
color.
to like touch and feel this product, and it's exciting to have a product like this, very commercial, very mass driven, and with a good price point and with our mineral lenses.
All right. Let's get to the next one.
The next one is the Danny. Is an evolution of our existing product, of the Foyt. Again, gathering feedback, changing the product, adapting to be always aiming to offer the best for consumers. Very commercial acetate, quality acetate, as Serengeti needs to be. Kind of like the Club Master, can play on that space, but better, more embellishment, more details, more quality on the hinge. So we can definitely play that space. Unisex, fits most of the head shapes and sizes. Very hopeful for this product as well.
Great. And yeah, it's a true medium fit.
Yes.
Like the whole point of this one is to have a really universal fit in a really classical style. So this is another one that's going to be a must-have, in my opinion, for anyone who
Very
wants to carry
classical
this.
shape. It should be a good commercial success. Okay. Again, when we do the product development, we go and see which ones we have more potential. And you can see in the screen, all 4 colorways are available in RX as well for prescription.
That's exciting. And then this frame will be one of our marketed frames. It's going to be one of the highlighted frames in one of our upcoming photo shoots. So the initial asset delivery, key visual delivery, we don't have Danny, but it's coming shortly.
On the next wave of content.
Yeah, on the next wave of content. I mean, there's so many styles. There's so much content,
which is good because then we keep them, delivering to accounts and distributors to keep on promoting the brand.
Absolutely.
Another one is the Arthur. Very exciting about this product. Kind of like a new venue for us. A round shape on acetate. Very commercial. We see the trend outside, right? We all see the trend. Base 6, bioacetate. I'm very hopeful for this one. I imagine you are too.
Yeah, I mean, this one's really exciting to me. It makes a statement. Absolutely makes a statement.
Absolutely.
Where I kind of expect the rimless, the semi-rimless, the Danny, the Ryan, and the Carson. There's so many to do all the heavy lifting commercially. But this is going to make this statement. This is going to make people turn heads to Serengeti for sure.
And then we can play in spaces that we usually don't and get some market share from other brands.
Absolutely.
Here we have like a product hero to show how like we're portraying this product on the space, and also on model photography where you can see how it fits. Very unisex as well. Fit man and woman. If you want to create your own statement, you should go with the Arthur.
Great. Let's look at the colorways.
Color waves. This one, since it's a statement, we were a little bit more bold on the colors. So we have a honey. I think it's going to be very successful with the 555 lens. So it's a good mix. We have the blue, more driven to men on this case, and the classic one, which is the gray lenses, and the 555 with the tort. So very interesting mix of colors. Very hopeful for this one.
I love the 555 and the tort. Just that it's such a classic colorway. The gray green lens with the tort is awesome. So why don't we take a look at a family of styles that we consider to be legacy sun styles. So these are a few that we've brought back because of commercial demand that we know are going to be commercially successful, but are also really tied to the DNA of Serengeti.
Yeah, and I think it's important to like how we work in partnership with the sales team as well, right?
Right.
Like we bring their feedback and we see like there is potential there. Maybe they were a specific development that we didn't do on the main line. Now we're going to bring them on the main line. One of them, it's the first one. I think everybody's excited for this one. Is the Carrara. He's back, or he or she.
The what?
Carrara's back.
There we go.
We're introducing a classic aviator. It was a bestseller, so we see a lot of potential again with this product. You'll see in the colorways that we brought new colors. So it's a base 6, a metal, classic aviator, classic teardrop shape.
And you see it on, and it's iconic.
It's
for
iconic.
Serengeti.
It's
the branding on the side is so strong. The shape is so classical.
Very well, I think.
And this is one of the styles that kind of transcends driving. We have a lot of, at least in North America, we have a lot of popularity with pilots, who really have this nostalgia for Serengeti and love the lens. So let's take a look at the colorways.
Yeah, so on the colorways, as I said, we try to cover more styles. Aviator blue is a classic one. We know there's demand for that. Of course, the drivers. And we went with a gold frame with the driver's lens, which is a great mix as well. For females, some females like more gold on the frame. So we think we can target unisex here.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, the next one we're bringing back, resurrecting.
The Dante
2.0.
2.0.
Yep,
2.0. Yeah, which is a 8-base metal classic. A lot of demands with pilots and male, masculine focused. I think it's a good one. It's a medium fit.
Yeah,
it should fit most of the people as well. And there's always that demand for classic metals, as we know. Let's go on the colorways. We have 3 SKUs on this one. 2 are RXable. And the classic ones, we went on RXable. This one has a higher base curve, so we kind of restricted the offer a little bit.
Yeah, and I'd say, the matte black and the shiny black are so close. So you're going to get a black in RX and the dark gunmetal. So we have the bases covered.
Yep. The next one is the Varese 2.0. Another one that we know is successful. There's a demand for metal, 8 base curve, fit medium, and metal. Classic lens shape, kind of bring like the vintage style from the 80s and 90s on that one. Again, more masculine driven, this one. So on the colorways, you see a reflection of that.
Yeah, and you know, the Varese and the Dante to me really represent, you know, they're like iconic driving pieces, you know, especially during like that moment of Serengeti when Serengeti was really known for driving. Like these were the pieces that embodied that spirit. So we should really be seeing people gravitate to the brand just to kind of get their hands on these again.
Yes,
that's what I think.
I agree with you, definitely.
Let's look at the colors.
We didn't go too deep on the colorways. We have 2 colors on this one. It's a very male-driven product, so we kind of narrowed the offer to the blue mirror, which we know there's a demand for on the male side, and then on the drivers, which is our classic style. Okay.
Man, that is a lot of sun, and we haven't gotten to ophthalmic yet. I mean, talk about a quiver with so many arrows. You know, there are commercial styles, you know, like the Danny and the Ryan.
The Carrara.
The active, like the Carson. Really new, exciting revivals like Bianca Nova. You know, classics like the Dante 2.0, Varese 2.0. We are armed to the teeth with amazing stuff.
Yeah, so to this, the slide you're going to see now is our product grid.
Yes.
So you can see like it's populated by material and by price point. That shows the wide offer Serengeti can have for you and your customer. So different price points. We start around $200 with the combat product, as I said, to $450, $500. So it's very populated. You'll see some are like it's like a mock-up of a product. Those are the ones coming on Meteor, so our next wave of development.
Yeah. So two notes on that. The pricing is definitely regional pricing.
Yes.
So you're looking, you know, the viewer's looking at a product grid that we use internally as a benchmark. Your regional pricing may vary. Also, the ones in orange, you know, you have code names there and shapes because those are our mid-year products. We're not ready to divulge another round of really great stuff. So, and what I really like about this offering is, you know, we did also some tightening of the line. So whereas in this offering, it is quite it's a tighter offering. To your point, it still reaches a lot of different people.
Yeah, we went through a line rationalization. We incorporated a lot of like different ways to see the data to make sure we have a good productivity by SKU on the account level. So the product's turning. Sure.
Well, then before we get into ophthalmic, why don't you say a few words about sun prescription?
Sun prescription, I love that subject. I can talk hours about it. So sun prescription is definitely, we want to reinforce with everybody in this call or in this video that's like in this meeting that it's a priority for us on the business side. There's a lot to cover, a lot to do. The potential is huge. And I don't see a lot of companies offering what we can on mineral. We're probably the only one that can offer a wide offer of lens colors in the mineral. So let's leverage this. Mineral is an amazing material. It's not easy to work. So we have one supplier that helps us with this. Let's use mineral always as the sales pitch, offering the best. If we cannot accommodate the range, we go to Trivex as an option, but we don't lose the sale, right? And on SunRx, is like, what I can tell is like we've been working hard together on this, gathering feedback from sales, working on the marketing team, working with the partner labs to develop a more concise and more simple offer. Because we know it can be complicated, so we want to make it more simple as possible, as good as possible to go to the market.
Yeah, and that's really on the lens side, is to simplify. I'll say on the frame side, we're doing our best. We have a bit of a tweak in strategy that I think the viewers will be really excited about, which is we're going to do our best to offer almost every frame as RXable in both mineral and Trivex. Now, that's not every frame. If we come out with, you know, a really experimental color, we may not make that RXable right away. Obviously, there's an opportunity to do one-offs, you know, through labs as custom orders. But generally speaking, We're going to be offering the bulk of colorways in each style in RX moving forward. More details to come as that rolls out, but that's really exciting news.
Yeah, and it's like Serengeti is a premium brand, right? We should have as much offer in RX as possible. Again, making it simple to roll out to market, that strategy. But wait, there's good stuff coming. That's all I can say right now.
Right. So we're going to dive into ophthalmic. And what I can say about what we have cooking for ophthalmic, there's not as much as sun, but there's some really, really great stuff in here. I'll say when it comes to ophthalmic and what the folks are about to see here, we're really venturing into the world of exciting new materials for us. If I can chat a little bit about that,
Sure.
I'll tip the hat. We have 3 really exciting titanium frames. Lightweight titanium, very minimal, but very well designed, really great, finish and feel to them. Almost, you start going up against eyeglasses that feel invisible when they're on. So super comfortable. I'm really excited to talk about those.
Yeah, the first one is, as you can see, is a very similar style to the Arthur. It was made to be an optical frame, and then we adapted to sun because we see potential there. Acetate, quality acetate. The hinge is 3-barrel, base 6. Again, you bring the statement to it.
Yeah, this is a statement piece in optical. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We do this in sun. We do this in optical. Yeah. And I'd say it's really a sign of more things to come as we build stronger connections between our ophthalmic line and our sun line. So very excited for the Henry. Let's take a look at the colors.
Again, as a statement, we were a little bit bold. We dare a little bit on the colors. We have a tort. We have like a shiny black. We have like a interesting green that will fit some specific audience. So this one I'm really excited to. It's an acetate. It's round. So bring the statement in, and I feel it's going to be a successful product.
Great. So this is our solo acetate ophthalmic product, and then we have the 3 titanium coming up. You want to dive into those?
Yeah, the titanium, again, premium material. We have the Eddy, base 4. When you see the picture in the screen, it is a statement by itself.
I'm wearing the Eddy.
It has geometric shapes on it. It has like a different funky style. I think it's going to be successful. Titaniums, we have a demand for titanium. We know this. So I think it's a very premium material, very light. We can play in a lot of ways with the titanium on the account level. Colorways, we went classic, matte black, gunmetal, and bronze. All of them are Xable because the RX goes through the account, so they can use other players for the lenses. The next one we have is the Avery.
Yeah, this is the classic titanium. It's super minimal, a little bit intellectual, but with kind of the Serengeti.
I think on the titanium was like
vibe.
It's a classic material, so we go classic too, right? On the designs and on the shapes and on the colorways. Gunmetal, matte black, and bronze went classic. We cover like female and male on this one. And on the next one, we have the Cameron, which is similar, but a little bit more bold. So instead of being round, it's more like an octagonal shape. Base 4 as well. Titanium is the main call to action. Titanium is like where the material kind of resignates by itself.
Yep. And all 3 of these styles, I think, go really well together. They're clearly a family. They all have the same colorways, so they merchandise really well together. And then there's kind of a unique style for each different kind of person.
Correct.
I think
different consumers
really
that can fit that. Colorways, again, we went with the classic one, gunmetal, matte black, and bronze. And the next one is the grid for optical. As you said, price sensitivity by region, we know that. But again, I think the main point here is bringing like how we have a concise and complete offer by material, by price point. We have metal, acetated metal, and acetate, different price points, different shapes, different colors. So there's enough to play in the optical space. We appreciate your feedback on the optical space because it's a line we're developing together, and all the feedback is welcome to the next wave of development.
Yeah, and then I'm confident that kind of the work we're putting into the brand and brand imagery and how we're going to be presenting this, we'll start to be building, more global equity in the brand, which will really help solidify our position.
Agree, yeah, because once we bring fans into the sun side, they'll probably get interested in knowing more about the optical line as well.
Absolutely.
Now we talk about the bridge, right? What is the bridge between optical and sun? So we have our clip-ons.
Yep.
Right. So the clip-ons it's a good, amazing way we have to bring new people to the brand. Sometimes he goes with the optical one. He needs prescription. He needs a visual correction. He goes with the optical one. It's an amazing way to experience the technology, and it's been used as a sales tool to bring more people into the brand and to bring accounts.
Yeah, it's absolutely a tool we want to make sure is helping convert.
Yeah,
So,
when we need helping convert, we need to talk about fitting. We need to see the styles that are being developed, because it's such a unique product, so that we have to take in consideration the new styles and how they're going to fit in there, how they're going to fit the offer, what are the best sellers. So I think it's once we figure out the best sellers, we can have more development and make the product turn.
Great. Well, that was all really incredible. Next up is communications, but thank you, Diego. So much work went into this line with so many, folks that aren't in this video.
Oh, yeah.
Really, hats off to a team. It was a team effort. I like to call it kind of an embarrassment of riches. There's so much good stuff there that we're going to knock it out of the park with. It's incredible. So with that, I'm going to talk to Andrea.
Yeah, she's part of my team, so I'm super excited for her to show her work here. She's another contact that you can reach out. And she has amazing stuff coming. We have amazing numbers. She takes care of our social, our media, our PR. So I won't steal her thunder, but I want to welcome her.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep. So now I'm going to introduce Andrea Bacos, our marketing coordinator for Serengeti. Andrea, you're responsible for social media marketing, influencer outreach, some PR, and overall marketing operations, but probably your day-to-day is mostly the social management and outreach. So I'm excited to hear see what you're going to show us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been really exciting to see the changes going on with Serengeti behind the scene with social media. And for the past 90 days, I've analyzed how our content is doing. So we can go through the breakdown of who our audience is. So far, it's surprising to see that the ages of 25 to 34 make up 32% of the engagement rate, which is a huge number. We originally thought the more classic age of 45 plus would be our number one audience, but the younger age group, 25 to 44, makes up over half of our engagement rate right now for our content, which means who's liking our stuff, who's viewing our stuff, sharing, saving, commenting on our content. So it's nice to see that we're kind of grabbing onto a new, younger audience.
Yeah, that is really exciting. And I know that, there's probably an age group there that's a bit more active on social media, but to see it shape up like that is really great to see, because it means that, we're really connecting with, I'd suppose like the sweet spot of who we want to be connecting with. So that's super exciting.
Right. So this is great for our UGC content, our creators that we're going to have on, and our PR. It gives us a better idea of who we can engage with. And also, men still is our bigger audience right now. They make up 58%. Women is not far behind in 41%.
That is really, really cool, because you kind of think of Serengeti, historically maybe a bit more masculine, or maybe presented a bit more masculine. It doesn't mean that it's for men. Right. So women like what we're doing.
They love our stuff. Yeah.
That is awesome.
And just another thing to note is our top country right now is the United States, specifically New York and LA, where the money, fashion, young people live and fast-paced life. Really?
So that is really cool to see that we're kind of hitting some key hot spots, New York and LA. What social channels does this encompass right now?
This includes LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook right now. This is all organic, not even including paid.
Okay, that's really exciting. Great. Well, let's take a look then at your organic reach analysis. Let's see how things have been going the past 90 days or so.
Yeah, so for the past 90 days, our impressions has increased by 137%, which means how often the consumer sees the content. If they've seen it a few times, showed someone else, went back to the content, that is what impressions are. So that's increased by over 100%. Reach has also increased to about 165%, meaning people just gradually scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and boom, our content shows up. So organically, this is great, over 100% of reach. And then our total followers on all platforms have increased to about 7%.
That's awesome. And I think, at least what I've seen, because I've been watching it myself, is there's definitely a tier of people that love Serengeti. Mm-hmm. They're like, you post a picture about the lens and people go bonkers.
Mm-hmm. They love it.
So that's really, really exciting. Well, let's take a look at top performing content. What do people like to see from Serengeti? And then how are you working that into your day-to-day and communicating with our community?
So we have been peppering in some new content mixed in with some old content just to make sure the transition is smooth. People still love the product laydowns. They're performing at #1 right now. However, it is nice to note that the product on face has been saved and shared more than product laydown. So it would be nice to see how UGC would feel on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc.
So the product laydown, just for those that maybe aren't using the same language, those are all the products where you've put the glasses on in an environment by themselves, not on a person, and they're just shot really beautifully.
Correct.
Right? So people are following Serengeti because they love the product. No surprise that they're loving it when we post the product. Mm-hmm. That is super interesting that people are saving the on-face more. Why do you think that is?
It's actually interesting to note that the women posts have been saved and shared the most. So it's just an interesting thing to see. But on face, I think the consumer really wants to see how it could fit them personally, who's wearing them, how you can wear them, I think is important. And also we need to include more on-face imagery on our website as well, because I know we're kind of lacking in that, something we're working on.
Great. And I know kind of before we get into PR placement, you're starting to work with content creators, some influencers, and you know, we don't have our influencer program completely fleshed out, but we do have an influencer, at least one that we're continuing to work with, and you're starting to build a stable of content creators. Tell us about the types of influencers, who are we still working with, and the types of influencers you're looking for.
We're still working with Jack Harding, who is a photographer, I believe in the UK. He kind of jumps around. He travels a lot. And he loves our products. He was like, I'm ready to go. Let's do the second round. He still tags our products all the time. Every time he's in a campaign, he's posting our stuff, which is lovely. And some of our UGC content creators we are interested in is the driving heritage. So car events, classical car events. We are also looking for people who are adventurous, who are going out. They're out in the country or out in the forest, more nature.
So, you know, from my perspective, we've talked about this quite a bit, and it's probably no surprise after seeing some of the North Star stuff. I think the key with Serengeti is we're looking for influencers that may not have the widest reach, but they have extreme influence over their fans. Meaning, you know, maybe we'll be working with a menswear influencer that has a relatively small fan base, but their fans follow them almost religiously.
Right.
Versus maybe working with an influencer that everybody knows, but may have less impact because it's kind of obvious when they're endorsing a product or not. So for me, at least, it's really about building this kind of engaged community. And Jack Harding, I think, is a great kind of example of that.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, another big piece of community and outreach and visibility for us is PR. We've started to generate some really exciting PR placement already. You want to walk us through some of that?
Yeah, so we are super excited to announce that Serengeti products are going to be featured on the Yellowstone production that is currently filming. We also heard feedback that they love the product so much that they want to include us on a spin-off show that's going to be filmed later on this year. So we're super excited about that.
So Yellowstone, it's a series. That's Kevin Costner, right? He's like, it's super popular. It's like rugged ranch type stuff. Fits really great. So that is really cool to see. That kind of placement out there is really, really impactful.
Oh yeah, it's like an audience we haven't really touched on yet. So we're super excited for that. Another film that we're going to be included on is an independent film called 3. They're currently filming. The lead, Anna Grace Barlow, is currently wearing the Leonaras in this photo. And we also did a press release with OK Magazine. This is featuring our Nicholsons under Summer Trends, and they have a reach of approximately 1.4 million people.
Oh, that's really cool. So we're getting this visibility. And, you know, the interesting thing I think with Serengeti is people are gravitating towards so many different styles. Like people just like the brand. They like the overall aesthetic. They obviously love the lens. So let's talk a little bit more. You have another slide of a few more TV series and potential film placements we might be getting.
Yeah, so this is a short list. This is only our top 6. There's actually a bigger list, so we're really excited for everything else that's coming out. On Hulu, there's a show called Chad Powers with the star lead Glenn Powell. He's been on everything. We also have Platonic, which is a TV show including Seth Rogen, and a feature film that's coming out called Carolina Caroline with some other star leads. So we're super excited, and stay tuned.
That's exciting. You know, we'll have to figure out how we're going to be able to kind of communicate this stuff outwardly. So details on that to come. But, you know, Serengeti's heritage has a connection to the Hollywood set. And so being kind of rooted there again is really exciting for the brand. And seeing it on people that exemplify the archetype we put out there is really exciting too. So I can't wait to see what else you have cooking. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, that wraps our SS25 sales meeting video. I want to thank Andrea and Diego and all of the people that worked really hard to make all of this happen. It certainly wasn't easy. So again, we are very available to you. If you need to talk to me, to Andrea, to Diego, we are here. So please reach out with any questions. If you have any regional specific questions, please reach out to your regional team. Thank you very much.
And whatever comes our way.